To extend my sympathies to families of those who lost their lives in Nairobi and many other parts of Republic of Kenya. We want to regret the incidences which happened, especially affecting the Uganda House, the newly constructed Uganda House on Kenyatta Avenue. Whereas we acknowledge the right to demonstrate peacefully, we condemn the destruction of property and killing of innocent civilians. It is a democratic right of every citizen of a democratic society to demonstrate, because demonstration means you want to be heard, especially where you have dissatisfaction. But it's also in order to note that you demonstrate peacefully while respecting the peace of others, property and life, most importantly. So it's very important for our colleagues to acknowledge that the economies of our two countries are very important and very dear to us. Yes, yesterday we were told that the demonstration, which began peacefully, later on turned violent, and property was destroyed across the country, Republic of Kenya. A number of properties were destroyed, but most notably, and to us, the Uganda House on Kenyatta Avenue, which was newly rehabilitated, was both destroyed and torched. We would like to thank the government of Kenya and the Metropolitan Police of Nairobi for the quick response in putting out the fire. Although we are told later on again the fire erupted after the police had left. We are yet to come up with the full-scale assessment of the extent of damage. We cannot really tell right for now, neither can we speculate. But when finally CAM returns to Nairobi and our engineers get in there to do an assessment, we shall be telling the country how much damage has been occasioned on our building. But we'd like to regret and we'd like to call on all East Africans, especially our brothers and sisters in Kenya, to remain calm and demonstrate peacefully. To Ugandans who are in Kenya, this morning I've spoken to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Kenya and also the Minister of Interior, who have assured us that the government of Kenya is doing everything possible to restore calm, and very soon normal business will continue. So I'd like to appeal to Ugandans, traders, business people, our staff of the mission of the High Commission in Nairobi, the many students, and all Ugandans across the Republic of Kenya to remain calm and have full confidence in the government of the Republic of Kenya that calm will soon be restored and normal business will proceed. I would also like to emphasize that our relationship between the government of Uganda and the government of Kenya remains steadfast, remains cordial. We in no way associate the damage and burning of our property, the Uganda House, to government of Kenya. This was the result of a few errant demonstrators who chose on their own volition to attack our building, just like they attacked many other buildings. So it's not true that Uganda House was particularly targeted. I know there are a number of properties which were destroyed in Kenya out of the demonstrations that happened across the country.
Yes, so Honorable Minister, we saw you.
During the renovation, we had variations, which I cannot really pick off cuff, but we'll be telling you. In respect of who is concerned, you know, most of the buildings or assets of government of Uganda that belong to government of Uganda through our mission are insured. So on who will be responsible, you know, even when you have insured the property, there's an assessment which is done. So the details about how there is going to be repaired or renovated, we await the report of the engineers and also the report of police, and we will be telling you on exactly how it proceeds.
Are there plans to repatriate Ugandans?
Well, I have just said that we have spoken to the authorities in the government of Kenya, who have assured us that everything is being done to restore normalcy. If there was any hope of escalation of violence, we would have issued an advisory. My appeal is that everybody should remain calm. All is being done, and we have full confidence in the government of Kenya to restore normalcy. In a few hours from now, trade will resume, normal life will commence. So there's no need for stampede. Ugandans who are in trade, who are in transit, the students should stay put. Government of Kenya is in charge of security as we speak now, and everything is gonna be well soon. Well, you cannot, disaster cannot occur and you go ahead to carry out and to officiate opening of a property, because we had scheduled to officiate on official opening of the property on 28th, but of course with the violent demonstrators hacking and burning our house, we couldn't go to officiate. We can't go on to officiate. The period between now and 28th is so close that we shall not have restored the building to its original state. So we'll be assessing the extent of damage, and money available, we shall be embarking on repairs, and then we shall come up with another date of official opening of the same building. Uganda cannot take charge of security of Kenya. Uganda shall only take charge of security of Uganda. So no, we can't reinforce, because Kenya is in full charge of their security. And in any case, there's nothing which has gone out of hand. This was a spontaneous situation, which we believe and we have observed as we speak now. Government of Kenya has gained control of the situation, and security is back to normal. There are a few pockets which are still being handled here and there, but we would like everybody to have confidence that business will go back to normal in a short while. The Ugandan High Commission is functional and open as I speak now. I have just been corresponding with our High Commission staff in our High Commission in Kenya. The building that was torched and partly damaged is not the High Commission building. It's not the one which houses the High Commission. This is a commercial property of the Ugandan mission in Nairobi. So Ugandans should rest assured, should be assured that where you have been going for services of the embassy is where you should continue to go, because the embassy is still open even as I speak now. So there is nothing which has affected the normal working of the embassy or the High Commission of Uganda. The Uganda House on Kenyatta Avenue is a commercial arm of the High Commission of Uganda in Kenya. So there is nothing which has brought about halting of services whatsoever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a statement in respect to the reported fire at the Uganda House in Nairobi on 25th June 2024. I've received and read through a statement purportedly issued by Uganda Foreign Ministry on the fire incidents at Uganda House in Nairobi. I want in very clear terms, as the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, to take exception, and I do take exception, and reject the hurried statement on the fire at Uganda House in Nairobi as issued by Uganda's Foreign Ministry, attributing the incident to what they called peaceful Kenyan protesters taking path of destruction of property, including Uganda House building in Nairobi. I reject it as the Shadow Minister, and I take exception. The Uganda Foreign Affairs Ministry has no basis and has no capacity to attribute the fire on anyone, including protesters at this stage, moreover in a foreign jurisdiction. Kenya is a sovereign nation with investigative agencies and arms. For Uganda Foreign Ministry to accuse and character assassinate the people's cause of Kenya by alluding to the fact that they participated in the fire at a stage where the Kenyan authorities have not released or issued any report or reportedly concluded any investigation was premature and we want to reject it in its full content and terms. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not received any report or read any report from Kenya as regards the fire incidents, but we hope it will be coming forth in the nearby future, because we trust in the sovereign right of Kenya as a government. As a shadow minister for foreign affairs, I stand and support any attempt by Uganda, as shadow minister of foreign affairs, I stand and support all legitimate democratic efforts by the Kenyan people in pursuit of their own rights as people of Kenya. Kenyans have a right to decide on their own. Kenyans have a right to raise their own fundamental issues in accordance with their constitutional order, and Uganda regime owe not to interfere whatsoever. We disassociate, and I personally as a shadow minister disassociate myself and the people of Uganda from any attempt by the Uganda regime through the Minister of Foreign Affairs aimed at distorting the face of the Kenyan peaceful protesters that may result into compromising the security of Ugandans living in Kenya, and they live in Kenya in the thousands. We have not had any incidents of Ugandans complaining. They are living happily in Kenya and working happily in Kenya. Such a statement by Uganda Foreign Ministry would have waited for Kenyan authorities to do investigation, conclude their investigation, and brief diplomatically our foreign ministry through our embassy. Aware that the newly refurbished Uganda House in Nairobi was funded in the billions at the expense of Uganda taxpayers, and the same building was set ablaze just a few days to its opening, because we are told it was supposed to be opened this week. More investigation need to be done to rule out any connivance from Uganda regime or officials in an attempt to escape accountability. Equally, the presence of a Uganda police fire truck in Nairobi days before this fire raises questions. How come it was present in Kenya just days before a Uganda house caught fire? This equally requires investigation. It is regrettable that Uganda House caught fire, and we regret the incident. But at this stage, we only call for investigation on the matter, but not rushing to cast blame on any Kenyan peaceful protester. We urge the Uganda government to avoid appearing to interfere with the domestic affairs of Kenya. Media reports on protesters in Kenya showed videos of Kenyans surrounding a Ugandan police vehicle, and this could be interpreted as the presence of Uganda troops in Kenya. We believe a more and detailed diplomatic explanation must be offered to the people of Kenya, and an accountability offered to the people of Uganda. We want to end at that for now as investigations continue. I thank you.
Whatever is transpiring in Kenya, it is very unfortunate, but I have to state it very clearly that I'm in support of the citizens in Kenya. When people reach parliament, they tend to believe that they are the alpha and omega. The moment you are in parliament, you are legislating for the good of the people, and whatever you do should be a very clear reflection of what the people want. People have already indicated that the budget is harsh to them and you must adjust. because of your selfish interest, because you want to unjustly enrich yourselves, you just happen to move on, disregarding the mandate of the people. So whatever happened, it is a signal that the same can happen even here. And it is a signal that Uganda is duty-bound to ensure that things are moving on smoothly in Kenya. Even the Kenyans must be awake to the fact that whatever is transpiring in Uganda can easily affect them. So, as we are learning and watching what is transpiring in Kenya, it is a clear warning to this country, to the leaders of this country, to President Museveni, to our speaker, to the members of parliament. People recently closed their shops over similar issues of harsh economic conditions which have been put into their neck. People are crying. People are not happy.